Capricorn. Hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early November 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Cappies. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going. Gods and Spirit team, what do we have here for Capricorn in early November? Scorpio season. What's the vibe? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. Let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the Cappies in early November Scorpio season. What's happening for my friends? What's the vibe here? What is the energy? There we go. Thank you. Okay, dreamy. And I feel like I've been getting this for a lot of the earth signs in recent weeks in particular, which is, I wouldn't say it's peculiar, but I usually get this type of vibe around water signs. So if you're connected to one, maybe that's a reason why this energy is starting to bleed over. This is very dreamy. It's a sleep-based type of energy as well. So it could really tie into a lot of areas of life. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the November subscriber surprise towards the end. So you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So we see this individual, they're wearing, pardon me, they're wearing their jammies, they got the sleep cap on, there's all sorts of nonsensical symbolism, it's very etheric looking, there's literally dream catchers here. So for some of you, it could just tie into sleep schedule, rest. If you've been going through quite a few things, maybe you need a little more rest, relaxation. Some of you might be having a little insomnia when this card shows up as well. But there's also an importance placed on dreams. So for some of you, if you're having really vivid dreams in this time, or dreams that are a little odd, you might want to pay attention to the symbolism within them, because Spirit could be trying to really get a message through to you or convey one. Another thing I always link to this dreamy, sleepy energy is imagination. So, I mean, your mind might be going a little more than it normally does. And this could be Spirit saying like, hey, you need an outlet for all this mental energy. So if you've been overthinking any sort of creative pursuit or creative endeavor, whether it's music or art, any form of self-expression, highly favored when, when this card shows up. So we're just going to put it down right there. And yeah, we're going to get into tarot. They could keep taking their nap. Let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that juicy intuitiveness. What's happening here? And yeah, I always say the first card doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards here to start. God, Spirit team, what do we got for the Cappies? And while we get this all shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. There was tower-like type of energy showing up, and the reading was titled A Shocking Situation. So if nothing's really happened recently, keep your head on a swivel, because the energy did feel a little volatile last week, and that can bleed over for a couple weeks. So keep your head on a swivel, like I mentioned. But let's see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Let's get it going. 3 cards for the Cappies. What's happening? What is going on for my good friends? Thank you. Okay. That's a good start. That's a big card of manifestation. And similar to that dreamy card, this is like nice, etheric, subtle type of energy, but it could also be powerful. Let's get a couple more. What do we have here for Capricorn in early November? We have your card, my friends. We have the Devil. Okay, and I will explain why, especially if you're new to tarot. That's nothing to be concerned about. Specifically in a Capricorn reading, it takes a different complexion when we see it. Let's get one more. What do we got for the Cappies, please? Thank you. And the Tower. Okay, so the Tower's still sticking around. It's lingering, and like I said, I mean, it's just a little volatile. The way the energy is moving, there could be a like really big shift or change coming up for a lot of you, with the way the energy feels to me already. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I'm looking over here. You know, I usually go with the elements. We have lots of major arcana here. We have a card of manifesting. We have earthy energy, which is yours. we have this tower, and believe it or not, that's not fire, that's Scorpio energy, which is the time we're in now at the time of this filming, so water. When I mix earth and water, that's usually very good, but the fact that there is 3 strong, powerful major arcana, there could be some importance here. For a lot of you, there could be long-term importance about the cycles you're going through right now. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out. Position number 1, we are starting with the Magician. That's one of my favorite cards to see in any reading. And the Magician, to me, it links really strongly to manifestation, or manifesting, creating. The Magician can link into spirituality, the subtle energies, but notice this Magician has all of the elements showing here, the master of it. So for some Capricorns, maybe there's something you really want to take control of, grab the bull by the horns, or steer your own ship. That's a big thing with this card, and that could be a very positive energy, of course. But when I see this, I would say your powers to create could be extra heightened in this time when the Magician shows up. So keep that in mind. Visualize it, take action. Visualize it, take action. Look at the end goal, because this is very powerful energetic energy when we're seeing energetic energy, of course. The challenge, and you know that I always speak about the positive and the challenge of everything. This could sometimes represent either one, situations where you don't have much control, where it kind of just has to play out, it is what it is, or for a portion of you, maybe you're dealing with somebody that's too controlling, very strict. So we'll see how that plays out when we get to the clarifying. Now in the center, we have the Devil card. Now, usually this card does have some challenges attached to it, but like I mentioned earlier, this is one of your power cards. And the reason Capricorn gets this card is because of the goat symbolism, right? You know how your constellation and all that stuff. So in my simplistic style, in Capricorn reading, this could just tell us something that's coming towards you or a way you might be feeling. Now, the way the energy is flowing, it's like we have the Magician that is sparking something. We have this Devil card, which is very solid, firm, or entrenched. It's very similar to the Hierophant in that way, where it's strong, earthy energy, and you're not going to budge it off course. So for a portion of you, this could represent situations you've been dealing with for quite a while, something that lingers for quite a while. Now, there is a whole laundry list of challenges that can come with this card as well. It could represent addictions. It could represent certain thought processes, people that are a little obsessive. It could be a warning about certain people in our circle as well. So it doesn't just have to represent you in this case. Sometimes it could be toxicity, you name it. So it could be a whole bunch of different things, and we'll look at it further. The good thing about the Devil card, though, is the staying power, and it is connected to the material world and abundance, believe it or not. Now, getting to the back end, this is a completely oppositional type of energy that I'm picking up, because it's like, yeah, we have the spark, then we have the entrenched energy. Just like last week, we have this tower coming in. It's coming in hot, it's coming in strong. Now, again, this is Scorpio energy. At the time of this filming, we're in early Scorpio season, so maybe it's just when we clarify it, it will give us a little hint of how the rest of this zodiacal season is going to go for you. But the tower is shocking. It uproots things, it changes things for better or for worse. Now, I always say that towers aren't always bad. Sometimes they could be good. Sometimes it could be a good shock, a good surprise, something that's unexpected that works out in your favor. And with these two cards leading up to it, of course it can be good. But in any reading, and I think most readers would agree, when we have the Devil and Tower in the same reading, they're very intense, and there could be some warnings that we want to look at as well. So we shall see what's up. So let's place that tower down right there next to the Celestite. And yeah, Capricorn, I want to dive deeper on all this action, so let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What's happening for my Cappies, please? What is going on? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Magician. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to the Cappies, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Magician time. So yeah, as I was saying, the flow of this energy, it's like we're manifesting, we're creating the spark, something entrenched, and then boom, the change. So let's see what the Magician has for us. What does the Magician have? Thank you. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. All right, so usually This is a very good card of stability and abundance. That's another card that could be representing you. And I just want to say this, it's not gender specific for a lot of Capricorns in this time. In 4 cards, we have 2 cards of Capricorn, and it is telling me for a lot of you, you might need to prioritize yourself in this time. Okay, so whether it's your health and well-being, whether it's your spiritual practices, for a lot of you, very important to do what's best for you in this time. Now, I usually say that that should normally be the case, but I know Capricorns could be very giving to those that they care about or causes that they care about. Spirit might be asking you to like pull your energy back and focus on yourself in this time. And that's one thing I'm picking up. However, this is usually a card in the upright where it's like entrenched, it's not moving, very similar to the devil. So when we see it in reverse, now is a great time for manifesting shifts of energy or changes. And that could come in a lot of different ways. Could it be interpersonal relationships? Could it be work and business? You name it. If you really visualize it and put energy into it, or even some sort of ritual, this is fantastic for you to really shift things up. Now, a portion of you, aside from those things, when I'm seeing all this energy here, you might be going through a strong transformation as well. But I'm going to see how it all plays out. There's a lot of pointers towards the Capricorn energy here for one reason or another. But let's go in on that devil. Let's see what the devil's here for. But now is a great time to manifest things changing. So if there's any situations that aren't rubbing you right or just feels iffy or off, now is a great time to get the ball rolling. So let's see why the devil's here. Why is the devil here? Cute. Yeah, and just as I was saying, like the focus needs to be on oneself, could be very important with the Two of Cups in reverse, because usually the Two of Cups does represent partnerships. When I see it here in reverse, I just want to give a warning here, because we could have multiple. So keep it in mind. And remember, it's on a spectrum. It doesn't always have to be something super major. When I see the devil with the Two of Cups in reverse, there could be a connection or a partnership that might be best at a distance for some of you. But again, this focus needs to be on oneself. But the warning I'm picking up here in the center, and I don't like using this term, to me it feels like a victim of circumstance. Now, I'm not saying anyone's going to be a victim or anything like that, but it does feel to me that some Capricorns in this time, you might be dealing with certain situations where it's like, all right, well, what can I really do? What can I do? Whether I like it, whether or not, I've done what I could do. So it might, outside influences might be affecting you in big ways. And again, that could come in the form of career, that could come in the form of personal relationships. It's like, all right, well, they did what they did. Now it is what it is. The devil in reverse, I mean, the devil with the Two of Cups in reverse could absolutely be warning you about a specific individual as well. That's why it's starting to make sense with this card in reverse. Now, the Two of Cups in reverse, where I'm saying you need to pull your energy back and focus on what's best for you, because there might be somebody in your circle that you should keep an eye on. That's another thing. So a lot of information to pouring through here, Cappy. Let's go in on the tower, and we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So let's see what's up. Why is the tower here for my Cappies, please? What's going on? Maybe it's a little indicator of the season. But let's see what's up. Okay. Queen of Wands in reverse. All these people showing up here in reverse. The fact that I'm picking up so many indicators of other people now. So it's like the energy is split, where it's like, oh, we have energies that are pointing at you. Now we have energies that are pointing at other people. When I see the Queen of Wands in reverse underneath the tower, like I said, either this is a shocking change or shift, or one that pops in out of nowhere in a surprising way, or just situations that it's like, all right, well, I've done what I can do. Now I just have to see how it goes. And I was picking this up for a few other signs this week as well. So just know there could be certain situations, and I know as a cardinal sign myself, we like to enact change. We like action. We like results. But there's only so much you could do with certain situations. I mean, for some of you, like if you already have your energy pulled back and you're on your own journey and you're doing what's best for yourself, awesome. That's good. You'd be probably able to sidestep a lot of this. But with the Queen of Wands, she is usually a card of confidence if you're not connected to a fire sign. Could be, again, pointing at people. So there is warnings here about other people as well. So there might be someone you really need to keep an eye on or beware of. But when I see her in reverse underneath the tower, it's like, okay, I felt one way about it, but there's nothing I can do. Like, I just feel like either a change or a situation where there's not much you can really do about it, which isn't the nicest message. So we do have a couple of warnings in that vein. However, I do feel like in the end, this energy could be skewed or sidestepped if necessary. So it all really depends. Let's go through and do a quick recap. I would definitely focus on, what's right for you in your situation, whatever it might be. But let's go through piece by piece, and then we'll get into the shadow card. If you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we are starting with the Magician and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And now's a great time to manifest change or shifts in a situation. Just know once you set it into motion, once you set it into play, it's going to happen one way or another. But like the energy is starting off here. Aside from that energy of change being initiated, for some of you, I was picking up, there could be situations that are a little out of your hands, or this could be spirit saying like focus on what's best for you. Even if you're a kind, loving, giving person, just keep that in mind, especially as you move throughout the week, because some of you, there could be situations that haven't even arisen yet. Keep in mind, you prioritize yourself. Moving to the center, we have the Devil, another one of your cards with the 2 of Cups in reverse. That just echoes what we saw here right in the front. But aside from that, this could be a warning about the people you surround yourself with. So there might be someone to keep an eye on, okay? It could be spirit saying, like, hey, beware of this individual. Onto the back end, echoes both of them. So it's like echo, echo, echo. We have the Tower, the energy of shock, surprise, change, with the Queen of Wands in reverse. So again, it doesn't matter what you can do or how you felt about something. For some of you, there might be a situation that's just a little bit out of your hands. Like you've done what you can do. Either that, or there is just a change or metamorphosis you're going through that's going to really go 0 to 100 quickly. So I feel for the Capricorn collective, for some of you, this can be very difficult, this energy, but for some of you, I think you could sidestep it. I don't know why that energy is coming through. I guess it depends on your situation, but watch the people you surround yourself with, especially with all those clarifiers. Please take a screenshot. Let's see what's in the shadows for you, my friends. So let's get a good shuffle here. See what's going on for the Cappies, please. What is in the shadows? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this out for you. What is happening? Thank you. 9 of Cups. Okay, so this is a good end result in the shadows, and this is one of the cards I really enjoy seeing in the shadows, believe it or not. The 9 of Cups is a card that's very welcoming. It's very giving. So interestingly enough, when I was seeing all these things about possible connections, doing what's right for yourself, watching the people you surround yourself with, the 9 of Cups is part of that energy too, where it's like welcoming. It's like, hey, here, come on in, have one of these cups. So again, I mean, I'm not telling you to be mean or completely close yourself off to every single individual. Just be cautious with how much you're giving away. Aside from that, the 9 of Cups could be a good result coming in for you, even if the energy does seem a little off in the moment. The 9 of Cups is wish fulfillment. It's beautiful. It's one of the best cards in the whole entire deck. The only other warning that could be attached to the shadow side of this card could represent overindulgence. So, and again, I know Capricorns are generally pretty good with setting limits for themselves. Some of those limits might be tested when this card shows up here. So just keep that in mind about overindulgence. But yeah, Capricorn, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The November subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar and book one on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the November subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my all-time favorite decks, the Gilded Tarot Royale. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards, which one do you feel is the most misunderstood? And if you're new to tarot completely, which one do you have a little trouble with understanding its meaning? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.